Okay, Claire said she believes in viewpoint diversity, that new variations are limited by certain factors and the contributions of people can be positive and negative. It's like criticism and a new variation that is and that people interact in their thinking, and that it's basically totalitarian to think that you need to influence the audience in a certain way, or that you can contribute to the factor. It's like that. It's a top-down principle. When you have the thinking that you can influence your audience in a certain way, you have to understand that people are limited in their what do I want to say, in their thinking. People are okay. We are guided by perception, and reality is a contributor to our own understanding. And interactions with social environments does influence your thinking in a new way, and it varies over time. And thinking that, what Claire wants to say, thinking that you have to influence your audience in a certain way without reaction. There's always a reaction to your own social instinct, and it creates a new social instinct. And I argue that it also does improve it might influence your cognition when you have these variations of social factors. Social factors are necessary for having for making a contribution and for having a contribution. These are what discussions are. You can influence and you can get influenced, and when you react to certain factors, then you become partly a creation of the social of your social of the social environment, and you create a new social variation within your environment. And thinking that you have to influence your audience in a in one way is that you have the guidance that it's not realistic. Also in the totalitarian regimes, or in also Hitler had some reactions to his behavior, and basically the psychology behind it might be that the variation that it created were not enough, or that, and this is where people can contribute in their with their own audience. They create the new variation that is necessary for it's like sex. We have to change our gene pool over time, and we create new new variations of our thinking and of our guidance with certain factors that are influenced by interactive systems that are created through social interaction and through other mediums. like writing. You can write and you can think, and thinking in one way does influence your thinking in a top-down principle, or it influences people, can influence people in top-down principles, and why you need new variations of your thinking and interactions with other people to have to have the right thinking that is causing the new variation that is necessary for having an equilibrium of your social environment, that you live in your social environment that is causing an equilibrium in your thinking and in your this is what's calibrating is. The IYE, on the other hand, they live in their monocultures and they interact with people who are the same. They create the availability of information that are only necessary in their social environment and in their thinking. And as we know, the knowledge of people is always limited by certain factors, and reality is always a question of it's always a question that is left because we can't think in reality. We think in our own internal reality that is caused by a variation of the social environment where we interact in a system, and reality is a system we all interact. The social science is a system that causes new variations of thinking, and we create our own thinking based on factors that are limiting our thinking and that create a new variation of our thinking. And this evolves over time, and this is what education should be about, and this is what should science be about.